Hitting the button now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. Welcome to the show. If you're new here, first off, thank you. I'm glad you started with this one. I've been able to do 180 others of this show, so I think I'm just about got it. So this is a good one to start with. If you like this, you should go subscribe to the channel, watch some of the other ones. All of the people on the show have been on older episodes. If you like what you're seeing, go find them. Also, if you're not a member of the Facebook page, you should join that if you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. That's where you can get all the information about this show, including how to be on it. I think there's a couple of shows left in June that might be full right now, but there's always drops. There's always spots available. And if there aren't, I will start booking July sooner than I'd like to, because this year is halfway over. So if you want to be a part of this show, go to the Facebook page or follow on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. You can get all the information there. Tonight on the show, it is the second annual Movie Dads episode. We did this last year during Father's Day. Father's Day's coming up this Sunday. So we're doing movies with notable dads, good, bad, just anything where a dad has a reason to be there, I guess. Just to give you an idea of what kinds of movies might be on the table tonight, I did pull up the list from last year. Last year on the show, we used Ant-Man and the Wasp, Face Off, Finding Nemo, Home Alone 2, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Luca, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, 101 Dalmatians, Popeye, There Will Be Blood, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk With Me, and World's Greatest Dad. So that's the gamut. I've been looking at this list I've put together, and I'm real excited for some of these movies.
None of them format.
None of these movies used tonight have been used on the show before. I can't believe after 180 episodes, there's still this many movies I haven't used. So let's see how this goes. Let's bring in our contestants. Joining me on the show tonight are Josh Poirier, Kari Taylor, Ken Green, and Matthew Flynn. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Nick.
What's going on? How's it going? All right.
I'm so glad you're all here. Before I talk to you individually, let's get a point on the board. Let's play a little mini game. This mini game is a little bit of a twist on a game that we've played on the show called Movie Roles. What I did is I found an actor and pulled all of their dad roles I could find every time they've played a dad on screen. What I'm going to do is just read the names of these characters, and as soon as you think you know who the actor is, yell it out. Everybody get what we're doing here?
Yep.
Pretty simple.
I believe so. Yep.
All right. The first actor has played dads named Lance, Virgil Mitchler, Henry Altman, Bob Monroe, Armand Goldman, Peter Banning, Daniel Hillard, T.S. Garp,
Oh, Rob Williams.
Robin Williams, and also Popeye.
Very good. Very good.
That is 1 point to Josh. Let's talk to the only father on the panel tonight. Welcome back to the show, Josh Poirier. Not much. I realized you hosted the show a couple of months ago.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure you did movie roles. And I'm pretty sure you did Robin Williams.
I did, but
I didn't remember that until I got to Peter Banning, which was the giveaway name for me on your episode.
The giveaway name for me was Gar, the Warlock Party of Gar.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the giveaway for me. So I didn't even use Garp as a name in the list that I brought together.
So Josh, you know the question coming up.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of movie dad you really like? Good or bad? Just one that you find interesting.
There's two. I'll give you a good and a bad.
All right.
A good would be Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom.
Uh-huh.
The classic. It's an absolute classic. I was talking about it before we got here because I've been Mr. Mom for the past week. With no shenanigans. No shenanigans. And the other one, the bad one, would be Terry O'Quinn and the Stepfather.
Yes.
Real fun choice. So what you're saying is, in your mind, stepfathers count?
Yeah, they do. I mean, I've had a stepfather. My dad left before I was born, so I've had a stepdad my entire life. So he definitely counts.
All right.
And it is Terry O'Quinn is my stepfather, believe it or not.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Lost must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was exciting. We got lost for a while.
Well, Josh, welcome back to the show. Always great to have you here. Also returning to the show, it's been way too long since he's been on the show. I verified has not been on in 2023. Just a real busy guy, but I love having him here. Ken Green, welcome back.
What's up? Until you told me, I had no idea. I thought I'd been on here, and maybe it's part of my psyche now. It's just like I just imagine I'm on this show all the time. So, but yeah, it's been a little busy. A few things were going on at once, and it was good stuff was happening, but I didn't realize it kept me that busy. But yeah, it was cool. So it's great.
I mean, I have no concept of time anymore. My brain's still in 2020, so I had no idea we're halfway through 2023.
It's moving along at a good clip.
Stop saying that. You'll make it true.
Well, Ken, do you have any movie dads you really like?
Oh boy, I was trying to think when you mentioned off the top of my head, I can't. The only one the person that popped in, I don't know why. Do you remember the movie Breaking Away? About the Indiana, the bicycle racing kid that wanted to, bicycle. It was like decades ago, but the dad, Paul Dooley, I think the actor's name is. And I just remember him in the movie, and it just first thing popped in my head. I'm thinking, well, it's somebody else, and that's the first thing that popped down. So probably him for a good dad. He understood his kid's weird passion for. His kid wanted to be like, he was like speaking Italian. They live in Indiana, like in some rock quarry town, but the kid wants to be a famous bicycle racer or whatever. He put with all this ridiculous stuff. And I'm like, that's a cool dad. But I was like, okay, whatever you want to do, go right ahead.
I gotta see that movie. I've heard it's great.
It's good. I mean, I'm sure it's like, I don't think it dated. I think it may have been around the same time as like Bad News Bears or something like that. But it's not as bad.
It's not as dated as that.
No, it's not. It's not as simple. There's a lot of depth to it and stuff, but it's a little more depth to it. But it was pretty. And bad. The first thing that popped in my head was Victor Frankenstein. I guess I don't know. That's it.
You know what? I'll count it.
Yeah, he was a dad.
There's a movie called Son of Frankenstein. I assume he had kids.
Well, he got married because there was a bride, so I don't know. Yeah, something happened. I don't know what happened, but yeah.
And again, Frankenstein is the doctor, not his beautiful,
exactly.
beautiful
Victor,
large son.
Or Frankenstein, whatever you say, but yeah, that's it.
Well, Ken, welcome back.
Thanks.
Also returning to the show, a new friend to the show. Glad that he keeps coming back here. Matthew Flynn, welcome back.
All right, thank you.
How you doing, Matthew?
I'm all right, I guess. Just coping and plugging away. I guess.
Perfect. I mean, that's the best any of us can do.
Yes.
That was my autobiography too, by the way. Coping and what did you say it was?
Plugging away.
Yeah, plugging away. That's my the Ken Green story.
Well, Matthew, let's talk movies. Is there a movie, Dad, that you really like?
I'm gonna fully admit that I just cheated because I'm in like brain fog from working too many hours. So These are the two dads I came up with. The good dad would be Danny DeVito and Jack the Bear. And the bad dad would be Samuel Jackson's character in Eve's Bayou.
Those are two movies I have not seen. But I'm going to take your word for it. If I was to watch one of them, what's the one I should watch?
I mean, I feel like both of them, I think, have depressing aspects to them, because Jack the Bear, if I remember correctly, is more of like a drama, but it's definitely lighter fare than Eve's Bayou. So I guess depending on your emotional state, if you want a heavier movie, then watch Eve's. They're both good.
Yeah.
Eve's Bayou is definitely.
I mean, I love Danny
but it's
DeVito.
also the more emotionally heavy movie.
No, I love Danny DeVito, especially playing a dramatic role. I feel like he doesn't get enough of them.
Well, he also is like a single parent who, if I remember correctly, hosts like a failing local TV horror show.
Well, now you're selling me on this movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'd heard the title. I don't think I knew anything about it.
And I don't know. I didn't look into it, but it might be one of the ones he directed too. I don't know.
Well, that's going on the list for me. Finally, another new friend to the show. If you saw last week's show, you've seen her already. Kari Taylor, welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Coming back. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm surviving. It's Monday.
Coping, plugging away.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm doing that too.
Well, Kari, you're the last one up. You've had time to think. Can you talk about any movie dads?
Yeah. So this is okay. So my all-time favorite, like fictional dad in any capacity, is Bob Belcher. And then I remembered that there is officially a Bob's Burgers movie. So I can say that he's now officially my favorite movie dad. I don't know if I necessarily have a bad dad, but like the first one that came to my mind was, again, Danny DeVito, but Danny DeVito as the dad in Matilda.
Yes. That is another good choice. Matilda is such a I love that movie. I rewatched it last year, and it's still so fun.
Yeah.
Also, totally agree on Bob Belcher. That whole show, that might be my favorite like animated family.
Agreed.
Like, there's not
100%.
a bad family member.
Yeah.
It's just like, what if everybody was autistic and at least a little bi?
I mean, the true future that the liberals want.
Well, thank you all for being here. Before we get to the regular game, I got 3 more of these movie roles. Let's get some more points on the board before we get to the real game. Next one up, this guy has played dads called Bill, Sam, Marty Livingston, Bones Darley, Graham Bloomwood, Al Lawley, Pops, Pacha, Big Daddy LaBouffe, Babe Ruth.
Oh, John
Goodman.
John Good. I think Josh got that in.
Yeah, you got it.
No, he definitely did.
Split second. That's it. Yeah, very good.
Last one was Fred Flintstone. John Goodman just has wonderful dad energy. Speaking of TV dads, Dan Connor is one of my favorites.
Yes.
It's a shame that there's nobody else on that show.
Or ever been, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I remember that show titled.
All right, next one up. This guy's played Akbar, Evan Danielson, Jack McCall, Jim Evers, Charlie Hinton, Prince Akeem, Donkey,
James Earl Jones. No.
Yeah.
No.
Dr. John Doolittle,
Yeah.
Eddie
Oh,
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
There
I
you
think Ken got that first.
Finally.
It is Eddie Murphy.
I was on the James Earl Jones train with Ken.
I know.
He
I did
did
it
not
on
remember
purpose.
James Earl Jones.
I did it on purpose to throw you off the track. It's like, I'll confuse him.
Yeah, James Earl Jones from The Donkey King as Donkey. Last one. This guy has played Harry, Wade Vogel, Gordy Brewer,
Now let's go.
Dr. Alex Hess, Howard Langston, and John Matrix.
Oh,
Matrix.
oh my God. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Matrix from Commando.
Oh, the movie I hate.
Oh.
Oh, that pointless movie. Yeah.
Great dad jokes in that movie, though.
Yeah.
Let off some steam.
Remember when I told you I'd kill you last? I lied. What happened to him? I let him go.
That's so bad.
But yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way. I will defend that movie. It is nonsense, but it is one of the most fun movies.
Filmed in Minnesota. Filmed like in the St. Paul area where I live. So
nothing about that movie should be happening. Everyone should be in prison. A mailman goes and blows up a cop with a bomb. It's a perfect Christmas movie.
I actually have a soft spot in my heart for Sinbad movies for some reason.
Luckily, you don't have too many that you have to work.
I was going to say both of them.
There's house guests. There's
wasn't it one he was like was that house he was guarding the president or something like that, or
I forget which one that was.
Some movie.
But you got more movies if you do his bit parts. He's in Total Recall.
True.
Is he in Total Recall?
Yeah, he has a small part in Total Recall, and then there's a really terrible what's his name? It doesn't matter. I forget the actor's name. Never mind.
To me, he'll always be the teacher from Good Burger.
Yes.
oh yes. Yep.
Well, that's enough of those. Let's move on to the real game. Josh is going in with 3 points. Ken got 1. Kari and Matthew, there's plenty of points still on the board. We're going through 12 movies tonight because I couldn't think of a second minigame. So you all know how the game works, but if you're new to the show, here's what's happening. I've gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies with notable dads. These parental warnings, I don't write them. I don't know who writes them, but the anonymous weirdos who devote their time to telling you every little objectionable thing in a movie have provided me with over 2 years of a game show. So they are angels in my heart. I'm going to read these parental warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. Josh, since you got almost all of the points in that, I will let you pick the first year. Would you like a movie from 1999, 2002, or 2023?
1986.
Not going to happen.
1999.
1999. All right. First movie of the night from 1999 for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. The orgy is disrupted by arrows shot through the skylight. The mermaid raft is shot in the breast. All right, for 4 points, also under violence and gore. A nurse takes a baby who is the fruit of adultery to his father to kill. Instead, the father stabs the nurse with a broken pool cue. We see the corpse in the blood-stained uniform. Nice, fun movie to start with.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who picked this?
For 3 points under violence and gore. A man has his own hand chopped off with a meat cleaver as a ransom for his sons. The hand is put in a Ziploc bag so we can see it several more times. the hand is returned with severed heads of his sons,
yeah.
each in its own glass jar with blood sloshing in the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know.
We had 2 hands go up, 2 hands go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure it's a dad theme, so that's not a dad movie I'm thinking of. So, okay.
All right, for 2 points under violence and gore. Upon realizing that Tamora has eaten her own children baked in a pie, the main character stabs her in the neck. Blood is shown squirting everywhere and pouring out of her mouth. Got 2 hands up. Anybody else?
Come on, think. I know the name of this one.
I feel bad because Ken, I'm gonna go to you first.
Crap. Oh boy, I should. Well, if I say the category, I know it falls in. Somebody else might get it. What's the name of jeez. It's not. I know it's not this, but Flight of Nestra or whatever it is. No, that's not what it is. Is it?
Kari, what do you think?
I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think it might be Titus Andronicus.
Yes.
That is close enough. This is Anthony Hopkins as Titus in Titus.
Yeah, that was it. Damn it.
As good as Christopher Titus and Titus.
Yeah, I was confused by Chris Titus's show because it didn't seem to follow the Shakespeare play at all.
I know. It's weird.
I was really talking about the one Elephantitis. It was. It has nothing to do with Shakespeare here.
Final clue there under frightening and intense scenes. This production of Shakespeare's play pulls no punches when it comes to intense scenes. Most of the violence should at least make the audience squirm, and the climactic bloodbath will leave many gasping. As if the action were not intense enough, the score reinforces the horrors. Further, the presence of a young boy as a witness to most of these atrocities make them even more chilling.
That's not a warning. That's a review.
So like I said, we're going to do some good dads. Maybe we can get a bad dad on this one. Josh still in the lead at 3, Kari at 2, Ken and Matthew tied at 0.
Man, lost my 1 point.
Kari, would you like a movie from 1986, 2006, or 2013?
It's 2006.
All right, 2006. For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, the beginning of the film focuses on mourning and unhappy relationships. Another fun movie. For 4 points under sex and nudity during a match, a woman wears revealing clothing while holding the round sign.
Oh, wait. 2006, right?
2006.
Take a stab here.
All right, Josh, what's your stab?
Is this Rocky Balboa?
This is Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa.
Oh boy. I thought you meant like a round sign. I'm like, you work for the highway commission? Oh, okay.
Funny thing is, I thought that too, and then I was like, no, wait, that's not right.
Yeah, and sometimes I like picking the
did.
clues with words that sound like other words.
You did a good job with that, but I'm like, I guess it was a railroad crossing somewhere in this movie. I don't know. But, yeah.
It would have gotten more obvious in the next one. During an extended boxing bout, both fighters have bloody injuries, including cuts on their faces, injured noses and mouths, etc. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Paulie drinks and smokes on at least 8 separate occasions.
That's Paulie.
Oh my.
And violence and gore, a flashback to the main character punching a hanging side of beef, causing blood to spray out.
This was the real Rocky 5. The other Rocky 5 didn't exist.
I can get behind that.
Rocky 5's the one with the robot, right?
No, that's Rocky 3.
IV.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I love
Rocky.
the robot.
Rocky 5 is the one with Tommy Gunn.
Okay.
All right. Well, Josh is up to 7. Everybody else remains where they were. Ken, you get to pick this one.
Oh boy.
Would you like a movie from 2005, 2010, or 2023?
Oh boy. Well, let's do 2010. Let's try that.
2010.
Yeah.
One thing I love about the show is realizing how afraid everybody is about remembering what movies came out in the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's exactly why I skipped 2023.
So I hate to inform you, I think that there are 4 or 5 movies from this year on this list.
Jesus, Nick.
Again, running out of movies. So as new movies come out, they get added to the list.
Just go into Norwegian movies.
All right, this movie is from 2010 for 5 points under violence and gore. A dead character is found sitting alone, staring open-mouthed. Little blood. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, the appearance of the doll girls may be quite frightening to some viewers. Ken has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Ken? Hold on, Matthew, what do you think? You got it.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna go with Annabelle.
Ken, what do you think?
Shining.
It is not Annabelle. Ken, you're only like 40 years off on The Shining.
Oh, that's right.
I guess 30, not 40.
I completely forgot the year I picked. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
You're sick. I forgive you.
I'm on drugs, okay?
That's not an excuse. Most of the players are.
What was I thinking? Oh my God. Oh, okay.
The Shining failed Ken.
Yeah, well, it was a new Shining. Nobody saw the one that came out in 2010.
Next,
starring
one,
Jim Carrey. You didn't see that one?
for 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, The Tiptoe Through the Tulips, or as you may call it, the Bad Guy song, is quite disturbing and freaky. All right, looks like just Carrie. What do you think this movie is?
I'm pretty sure it's Insidious.
This is Patrick Wilson as Josh Lambert in Insidious.
Very good. Oh, boy. All right.
So he's like directing the newest one, I think, from what I've seen.
Oh, why
Like the
are they
newest
still
Insidious
making
movie?
them?
I don't know. It's like
It's
I've only seen
Insidious.
truly. It sounds like it's like from what I've just kind of like gleamed from like the Instagram ads I've been getting. It's like the kid from the first one that like was having spoiler alerts from this movie from 2010, who's having that out of body experiences in like the weird ghost world. And the Patrick Wilson are like gonna try and like close the portal or something. I don't know. All I know is that apparently Patrick Wilson is directing.
Hasn't there
it. It's
already
like
been
his first
3 or
movie.
4 movies? Why haven't they closed that portal?
Yes.
I would have closed, like, first thing I would have done, close that portal.
Truly, you would think.
I thought Insidious was like a look inside of the Emperor Palpatine. They crack him open and they get Insidious.
There you go.
Oh, boy.
Again, a person with child making those jokes on the show. It's all in Josh still at 7, Carrie up to 5. Ken and Matthew tied at -1 each. Matthew, would you like a movie from 1991, 2014, or 2023?
I'll go with 1991.
1991. From 1991 for 5 points under violence and gore. Several fights with the antagonist that ends good and funny. Several fights with the antagonist that ends good and funny.
I know. You don't have to say it again.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, there is also a scene where a girl beats her father's face with a coffee pot, which squishes his face into a silly shape.
Oh.
For 3 points under violence and gore, a boy is fighting real video game characters.
Know it.
For 2 points under violence and gore, a boy falls onto a spike bed in a dream, causing non-graphic, non-gory holes to appear in his torso in real life.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Ignore that.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think of the dad angle on this one, but go ahead.
All right. Well, last clue. We'll narrow it down. For 1 point under frightening and intense scenes, this film is one of the more funny of the Nightmare on Elm Street films and includes a scene where a mother punishes her son by cleaning out his ears with a Q-tip. Freddy uses this to torment the boy in a dream sequence. Ken does not feel comfortable with his knowledge of
I'm not sure which one that is, like 12 or whichever one it was.
All right. Well, Matthew, what do you think?
Is that the fourth one?
Josh, what do you think?
That Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare?
Kari, what do you think?
I'm also pretty sure it's Freddy's Dead.
This is the movie that introduces, up until this point, Freddy's unmentioned daughter, making Freddy a dad. It is Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. Also features a flashback of Freddy's father, played by Alice Cooper.
Of course.
And then, like, the daughter, I'm pretty sure is, like, in real life, the sister of Billy Zane from Titanic.
You mean Billy Zane from Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight?
That too. The one that he should be known for. But
You mean Billy
Zane, the
Zane,
Phantom?
you mean Billy Zane, the cool dude from Zoolander?
yes.
You mean Steve Zahn? From some movie that Steve Zahn's in?
That brings Josh to 8, Kari to 6, Ken to -1, Matthew to -2.
Horrible.
Yeah, there's no reason to know any of this.
Oh, yes. You should know that Shining wasn't made in 2010. I mean, that's one thing I should have known.
That might have been when the episode of The Simpsons, The Shining, came out.
All right, back to the top of the order with Josh. You're going to hate how many newer movies we have on this list. Would you like one from 2007, 2014, or 2023?
1986.
Still not going to happen.
2007, please.
2007.
For the block.
All right, from 2007 for 5 points under sex and nudity. There is a shot of a man's crotch with something pushing out of his pants. The something turns out to be a chipmunk who finds his way out of the opening. For 4 points, oh, Matthew has a guess.
I'm
do you
going to go
think,
with
Matthew?
the live action Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I mean, you fell right into the trap. It is not Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh,
That's okay. I'm already on the bad end of the spectrum.
It's got to be the Squeakle then.
I mean, we've not considered Chipwrecked. We have not considered Road Chip. For 4 points under violence and gore, a decrepit woman with warts on her face and discolored and missing teeth speak to a woman and flaps her tongue repeatedly between her teeth.
That's just.
Well, no, hold on. See, what year was this again?
2007.
Was that 2007? No. I'm gonna.
All right, Ken.
It's not Kingpin, is it? I don't know what the dad is.
It is not Kingpin.
Never mind. Okay. What the?
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, a woman turns into a dragon, threatening to kill everyone in a room.
It's a great scene in Kingpin.
Still might be Kingpin.
You say Stephen Kingpin?
Matthew, what do you think this movie is?
Enchanted.
This is Patrick Dempsey as Robert Phillip in Enchanted.
Oh boy. Good job.
He's a dad, and that's why he's kind of into this Disney princess who's in real life. Classic Born Sexy Yesterday. Other clues than that under violence and gore. Roaches pour up and out of a bathtub drain and clean the tub, and rats scrub a toilet using toothbrushes. In violence and gore, an animated woman is shoved into a deep well. She lands at the bottom and gasps as she is covered in stardust and transferred to the real world. She is unharmed but is shown frightened. Josh still at 8, Kari still at 6, Matthew is up to 0, Ken -2.
That's all right. I'm going for it. Play some time. I've been playing around here too much. Good. All right.
Okay. Kari, back to you. Would you like a movie from 2000, 2012, or 2023?
Let's do 2000.
All right. I will say I have not repeated a 2023 yet, so we're looking at that final 4 being pretty heavy on that end.
Good to know.
But this one is from 2000 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. Children leaving their parents. For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a man discreetly exchanges money for a brown paper bag. It's made to look like he's buying drugs. However, it's quickly revealed that the item in the bag is simply a rare comic book. Josh has a guess. Anybody else?
I know this.
What do you think, Josh?
Coyote Ugly.
We got John Goodman as Bill in Coyote Ugly.
I remember that because the comic book was the first appearance of the Punisher, right? In Spider-Man. And the thing was, they said it was worth over like a couple $1,000s when the thing's worth like 140. The thing's worth less than that. I was like, there's no way that's worth a couple $1,000s. That's why that's because I'm a nerd.
Let me get this
You
straight.
might be the only person who watched Coyote Ugly and had that.
And the thing is, that's the reason it stuck out for you. That's there is why it stuck out in your head. Wow. That's
the reason I'm a dad.
It's funny what some of these clues will remind you of. Violence and gore, a woman spits alcohol on a flame, making a large fireball. Violence and gore, a man pulls another off a bar, punches him repeatedly, then throws him through the front of a jukebox. One of the men is seen with a slightly bloody lip afterwards. Sex and nudity, several scenes of women in midriff and cleavage-revealing tops dancing suggestively on a bar counter, sometimes with each other.
Scandalous.
It brings Josh up to 12. Everybody else stays the same. Ken, would you like a movie from 1985, 2006, or 2022?
Well, of course, in honor of Josh, I have to go with 1985 because that's the best I can do for you, but that's it. So we're going for that one. Yeah. Posted in my wheelhouse. Let's go. Come on.
All right. 1985 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. The film, in terms of the violent content and the overall tone, isn't too graphic and serious, but the violence mostly comes off as ridiculous and funny, so most kids and teens will be able to handle it as it's played safer. For 4 points under violence and gore, a woman blows up a car with a bazooka. Matthew has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Matthew?
Is it Blues Brothers?
It is not Blues Brothers. There is a bazooka in that movie, though.
But you said the woman blows up in the car, and she blows up in the car, not she blows up the car, right?
I said a woman blows up a car.
Oh,
with a
blows up a
bazooka.
car. Oh,
The woman is in charge of the bazooka.
oh.
Turns out there's at least 2 movies in the 80s where that happens.
I didn't know such a popular theme, but what the hell?
Bazookas were big in the 80s from what I've heard.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, much less than the movie Taken, which is inspired by this film. Okay, for 2 points under violence and gore, Bennett and Matrix have a lengthy and brutal knife/fist fight and are both slashed with knives. Matrix grabs a pipe and beats Bennett with it. He is then electrocuted, and the fight ends when he is impaled with another pipe through his chest, sending steam out through the body. He dies almost instantly. Everybody but Matthew has raised their hands.
Well, other people beat me, so
I mean, you can still raise your hand and guess.
We might say the wrong thing. I don't know.
I'm going to go to you first, so it's not like it's cheating at all.
Okay.
What do you think?
Is it Commando?
Ken?
It's the worst movie in the world, Commando. Yeah.
Gary?
I'm gonna also say surprisingly Commando.
Josh?
Alyssa Milano starring Commando.
Might have tipped the hand a little early on that one.
Oh boy.
It's Ken's favorite movie, Commando.
Lord. Oh, that movie.
Last clue, violence and gore. Arnold throws saw blades at 2 soldiers. One of the blade embedded in his chest and the other gets scalped.
Yep.
That's just classic 80s cinema.
It's still better than the MCU.
Can't wait for the 70 millimeter release of Commando.
Is it in the Criterion collection yet?
It should be. It should fucking be.
I mean, Armageddon is. So
Yeah.
Oh my God, Armageddon is.
Yeah,
Yes.
Armageddon and The Rock. Michael Bay has 2 movies in the Criterion collection.
I did not know about The Rock.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. Okay.
You mean there's 2 movies in the Criterion collection, which has a spacecraft and an aircraft flying above them, and somebody looks up and like this? That's a Michael Bay move.
Josh up to 14, Kari at 8. Ken has gotten up to 0. Matthew at 1. So no more negatives. Let's see how long that stays.
Yeah, see, really.
Matthew, would you like a movie from 1984, 1991, or 2022?
I'll go 1984.
1984. Okay, 1984 for 5 points under sex and nudity. Men talk of women as objects. One dick. Ariel is very crazy. Mentioned as having been kissed a lot and admits to relationships with men. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, Willard says, quote, "A bunch of kids got killed on a car wreck near the start." For 3 points under violence and gore, Ariel is crazy, endangers herself in front of a train. Many tension, including a near car crash and a tractor accident. Kari has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Kari?
Was this Footloose?
This is John Lithgow as Reverend Shaw Moore in Footloose.
I thought it was Footloose too, but I couldn't. Damn it.
Very good. Very good.
Also in Footloose, alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the main character, high schooler Ren, smokes cigarettes often and during several scenes. And alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the four main characters, Ariel, Ren, Willard, and Rusty, Laurie Singer, Kevin Bacon, Christopher Penn, and Sarah Jessica Parker, go to a bar and drink alcohol. Willard particularly drinks many beers and is shown smoking a cigarette. Josh at 14, Kari right behind at 11, Matthew at 1, Ken at 0. We've got 4 movies remaining, one more for each of you before the final question. Josh, we're back up to you. Feel like you're going to be happy with me. Would you like a movie from 2023, 2002, or 1986?
86. Wait, yeah. Wait. Let me take that back. Let me think about it for a second. Yeah, 86.
All right.
I didn't want to seem over eager, you know. 86 for the win, please.
Played it pretty cool. Yeah. Couldn't tell it all.
No, I know.
From 1986 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Some characters drink and get drunk. There's use of cocaine and marijuana in a couple of scenes. Josh, you were so excited.
No, the first clue threw me off.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, there is no nudity. But you do see a teen in underwear that's covered by her boyfriend's shirt in one scene. It's implied they had sex, but no actual sex scenes. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, a teenage daughter gets into a heated moment with her dad when she confronts him about his current miserable state as a result of her mother leaving the family and his need to get over it. Kari has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Kari?
And I'm not 100% confident about this, but I think it might be Pretty in Pink.
Harry Dean Stanton as the aforementioned miserable father in Pretty in Pink.
Wow.
Literally just that scene of her just being like, just fucking get over it, Dad. Just get over your grief and your trauma about my mom leaving.
I think 2002.
Which leads to a real fun scene and not another teen movie where they do that with Randy Quaid.
Oh,
Before
yes.
we all knew about Randy Quaid.
So many better dad movies you could have picked in 1986.
I had the thought too of like when you picked 1986, I was like, it's not going to be the one that he wants it to be a bit.
What did you want it to
dad
be?
movies.
What movie did you want it to be from 86?
Back to School.
He had it locked and loaded. Like back to
My favorite Kurt Vonnegut performance.
Lindy,
Back to School.
Lindy.
It's cemented Billy Zabka as the true douchebag of the 80s.
Also in Pretty in Pink, violence and gore. Andy repeatedly pushes Blaine into a locker in anger. In Violence and Gore, a hulking guy intentionally rams his shoulder into Ducky. Then him and his friends roughly push him into the girls' locker room.
So Pretty in Pink is part of the MCU?
I mean, James Spader is in Pretty in Pink,
That's
and he's
true.
the voice of Ultron in second Avengers movie. So
Yeah, but this is more of a DC thing because Ducky is Lex Luthor and Lex Luthor's nephew.
True.
True.
He's got Luthor blood. Josh and Kari now tied at 14 each. Matthew still at 1, Ken still at 0.
Sad.
3 movies left. Kari, you get to pick this one. Would you like a movie from? What do we have left here?
2023, 2023,
Uh-huh.
or 2023?
1991, 2005, or 2023?
Let's do 1991. Sierra was born. Oh, I'm gonna pick it.
All right. Well, that means I'm sorry, Ken and Matthew. You have to pick movies in the 2000s at least.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I didn't do it intentionally.
All right.
Other than it was 1991.
Still gonna say The Shining.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
1991 for 5 points under profanity. None, unless you count Annie saying, "Oh my God," a few times.
Yeah, it should be obvious, but
Should it?
Not that.
no. Something tracks, but of course, never mind.
For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Adults drinking during a wedding. For 3 points under sex and nudity. A scene on the parents' house stairs where their daughter and Brian kiss passionately and the camera fades away, but you can hear the daughter moaning. Kari has a guess. Anybody else?
Yes.
All right, Josh is also going to guess. What do you think, Josh?
Parenthood?
Kari, what do you think?
I was actually gonna go with Father of the Bride.
This is Steve Martin as George
Jesus.
Banks in Father of the Bride.
Wow. Oh boy.
Oh,
Also in Father of the Bride, Sex and Nudity, when Brian first comes over to meet George and Nina, he has his hands on Annie's leg. Later in the same scene, Brian and Annie get ready to leave her parents' house, and while saying goodbye, George says, "Don't forget to fasten your condom." What he's actually trying to say is seatbelt. You know how people talk in movies. Sex and Nudity, Nina, Diane Keaton, remarks to George that they, quote, did it in every room of their parents' house when they were younger.
even the bathroom?
Every room, including their parents' bed.
The mud.
I mean, we've all done that.
Yeah, we've all had sex in Josh's parents' bed. 2 movies remaining. Kari has taken the lead at 17, Josh at 13. Ken and Matthew, I'm just glad you're on the show.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Ken,
Oh
would
boy.
you like a movie from 2006, 2013, or 2023?
2023.
Hell
Is
yeah,
that bad? I
let's get
can't-
one of these done.
I haven't seen any movies. Well, I've seen a few. So if my memory's that bad, I can't remember a few months ago. They just locked me up and sent me away. I'm done.
All right, this movie came out at some point in the last 6 to 7 months. For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. None in this film. A bottle of alcohol is shown in a welcome basket, but is not consumed. For 4 points under violence and gore, a man is tripped and receives a bad concussion. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, the scenes involving the strangers' deaths are very difficult to watch and may disturb some viewers. And this is why nobody picks the current year.
Yeah.
For 2 points under violence and gore, many disasters occur, such as tsunamis, plagues, storms, and planes falling from the sky. These are all shown on news reports, which can be disturbing.
Got
a lot of movement happening.
Oh shit! Raise my hand. There you go.
Okay, Ken, what do you think?
I probably got the title. Hopefully, I got the title right. A Cabin in the Woods. Is that it?
Carrie, what do you think?
I think it's Knock at the Cabin Door.
Josh, what do you think?
Knock at the Cabin.
Oh.
Just because Cabin in the Woods is a real different movie, I'm going to give it to both Josh and Carrie. I was going to accept Knock at the Cabin Door because it's so hard to remember the title of this movie.
Well, and its book title is also different, and I know the book.
Oh boy.
So.
Yep. We got Jonathan Groff as Eric and Ben Aldridge as Andrew. Very important 2 dads in that movie.
Batista, great performance by Dave Batista.
Yep.
Well, the twist of this movie, if you're, is that Rupert Grint is in it, and he's from Medford, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And he does. I can't knock the accent because I'm like, I guess that sounds right.
It's from Medford.
Yep.
Biggest twist I've seen in a M. Night Shyamalan movie. Last clue under profanity, moderate level profanity, although contains the most usage of such in M. Night Shyamalan's films. 17 uses of fuck, 5 uses of shit, 3 uses of damn, 2 uses of ass, and maybe a few others.
I just lost count after that.
That person did not have the same stick-to-itiveness as the GTA 5 person.
Uh-huh.
That GTA 5 person counted every single swear in GTA 5. Now, I'm not going to fact check them.
Uh-huh. All right, we got 1 movie remaining before the final question. Harry is at 19, Josh is at 15, Matthew is at 1, Ken is at -1. Last chance to get some points to play with in the final.
Am I completely X'd out if I have no points? I got to sit here.
Here's since it's only happened once, it's new rules.
Yeah.
You get to play with your negative point value, so the highest score you can get is 0 if you're in the negative. You can redeem yourself out of the negatives.
Well, at least you don't make me leave the set like they do on Jeopardy. That's all.
That feels
Blank
bad. Just
square
kick
there.
you out of the Zoom. Matthew, you get to pick the last movie. Would you like a movie from 2002, 2012, or 2022?
2012.
2012. All right, final movie from 2012 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. Poltergeist and Coraline have scarier images than this.
Fairly specific.
You know, the 2 movies that we always think to compare other movies to, Poltergeist and Coraline, scarier images than this. For 4 points under profanity, Mavis uses holy rabies to express excitement. For 3 points under sex and nudity, a werewolf pup relieves himself on a chair, and a witch cleans it up with an anthropomorphic sponge. Gross. All right, the 2 people with points to play for have buzzed in. Carrie, what do you think?
Basing this solely off of my hours of babysitting my sister's kids, but I think it might be Hotel Transylvania.
Josh, what do you think?
Based on the last week of taking care of my daughter by myself, which is the first week I've taken care of my daughter by myself, Hotel Transylvania.
Adam Sandler as Dracula in Hotel Transylvania.
Oh boy.
We also have violence and gore. Johnny wonders if his hand would disappear if he stuck it in the Invisible Man's mouth. And in a later scene, Invisible Man says he tried doing it, but the action itself is not shown.
Why the fuck did they think Poltergeist?
Poltergeist is scarier than this movie. Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with it, but so is
The Shining is also scary.
Yeah, so is The Shining. So is Coyote
Wait,
Ugly
which
for that
version?
matter.
The 2010 Shining, or which one are you talking about?
Well,
And
2010 Shining was hilarious. It was a send up of the original Shining.
And sex and nudity. In one scene, Dracula, Griffin, Wayne, Murray, Blobby, and Frankenstein's monster are in a sauna. Dracula and Frankenstein's monster wear only undergarments. Wayne wears a bathrobe, and Murray, Griffin, and Blobby are nude. But there is no visible genitalia due to being a mummy, an invisible man, and a blob.
And it should have been. I'd actually watched that movie.
That blob is all dick.
Just hanging dong all the time.
That reminds me of one of my favorite clues, and I do just want to pull it up from Monsters, Inc. under sex and nudity. Some monsters wear clothing and some don't. The monsters without clothing don't panic. No crotches, breasts, or privates are seen. It's a cartoon. Settle down, folks. Nothing to worry about. By the way, Marty's now in the comments rooting for Kari, as they should.
Yes.
Hi, Marty.
Before we get to the final betting round, the movies we didn't get to tonight, Catch Me If You Can, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Before Midnight, War of the Worlds, The Little Mermaid, Life After Beth, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, 22 Jump Street, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, The Pursuit of Happiness, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and the new Scream.
Wow.
All right, we are going into the final round. Like I alluded to before, I've changed the rules of this a little bit, so it's a little more like Jeopardy. You get to bet your total. You can also choose to bet nothing, based on how confident you feel about a father and a son in a movie. That's all I'm going to give you. That means, Josh, you can bet up to 18. Kari, you can bet up to 22. Matthew, you can bet up to 1. Ken, you can also bet up to 1.
Oh, jeez.
Ken, don't go crazy now.
I'm trying not to. I think I have a chance. I worked out the math. I think I have a shot at this.
Oh, yeah, and I meant to say privately message me, but Ken, I think I know what your bet is.
Really? You think so?
Unless you want to bet the other option you have.
Can I bet points if I'm on again? So if I lose, automatically deduct those from the next time I'm on.
Roll them over.
Yeah, that'd be the best thing to do. I think that's the best way to run it. You know.
All right. So I've got everybody's bets in. I just put yours in, Ken.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, all right.
Go ahead.
This is just a fun one about ages. I figured this one was relevant. In the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Sean Connery plays Harrison Ford's father. In real life, what is their age difference? I want you to privately message me what you think the age difference between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery is. Closest person gets their points. If you get it exactly right, I give you an extra 3 points.
The age difference we want, right?
The age difference between the two of them. father and son. I will say, in the last 2 Indiana Jones movies, Harrison Ford might have been older than Sean Connery.
Connery's dead.
Oh, get out of here.
There's only been the first 3, Nick.
I'm like, how was that possible? Oh, wait, yeah, okay.
The one that everyone keeps insisting Shia LaBeouf was in, where he swings. No, that was a collective fever dream. That did not happen.
In fairness, to me, there's only 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I like to say that they say that your body's a temple. But my body has a whip wielding archaeologist and a guy yelling Kali Ma in it.
All right.
Gotta get that checked out.
I believe we've got everybody now. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Harrison Ford was 46 years old. His father, Sean Connery, was 58 years old. Meaning that they are 15 years apart in age. Josh guessed 12. Kari guessed 13. Ken guessed 11. Matthew guessed 15.
Oh,
Nice.
Wait, what were those numbers again?
So,
What were the numbers again?
12, 13.
No. The numbers that you mentioned were the ages.
Oh, Harrison Ford was 46. Sean Connery was 58. And
Which
that's
is 12.
right.
All right. I'm glad that you caught that. Apparently, I can't do math because I knew it was 12 and I wrote down 15. I'm so sorry to build you up, Matthew. That was going to be one of the wildest upsets for second place.
But you couldn't do that with my score.
No, it's for third place.
No, it would have been for second place because Josh bet 10 points.
Oh.
So he would have gone down to 2, but instead, Josh adds his 10 points plus the 3. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is the second time I've almost screwed Josh over because I can't do basic math.
But I actually knew the answer because I remember it being a trivia question before. So that's why I threw
Not
you
on
when you
this
said 15.
show.
Not on this show. It was a different trivia thing.
Kari only bet 2, only loses 2. Ken, you tried.
Anyway, I was here.
Matthew, I really wish that had gone differently just because fuck Josh. I think I was just excited for that. But that means our final scores tonight. Ken at -3. Matthew at 0. Kari at 20. But the dad on the show wins the game with 31 points. Josh walks home with the win tonight.
Thank you.
Yay!
I just knew that.
Oh, I'm so bummed. I've never been so upset that somebody won.
Wow.
That's it. I'm only coming on the show another 40 times.
All right. Well, this
Fuck
was
you,
so
Nick.
much fun.
Very good.
It's not an episode of Inappropriate Movie Database if somebody doesn't say "fuck you, Nick." Well, this was so much fun. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Before we go, if there's anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or any last words, Ken, I know you have a couple of things going on.
Yeah, sure do. On June 23rd and 25th, I have a play in the New Works Festival down at the BCA Theater in the Tremont Street near the Beehive or whatever, called the FNL at 1330. It's kind of based on like the usual stuff I write Chicago, but it's about gentrification and how it the things that made a neighborhood cool in the first place get completely wiped out, and it doesn't make any sense anymore. But anyway, I've got a play there. And on the 16th, this week, at the Rossi Square Theater, we got our second annual Boston Pun-Off. That is on 16th, 7:30, Rossi Square Theater. Me, Courtney Pong, and Bart Gordon Thompson are going to be our official pun judge. I was a judge last year. And I said, no, we got to get an official person who knows, like, teaches English and knows us. His word is the last word. But that's on the 16th. And I'm going to try to put the categories out on Facebook tomorrow. We have a Facebook announcement thing. So we try to use categories. So just in case, people can get prepared. So there's not like, some people are better at coming up with puns off the top of their head than others, but make it a little fair. But we're not going to tell you what categories we're going to use. Arm at random. So you might, I think you can still enter. We still got tickets, I think. So look it up, but it'll be this Friday. So there you go. And come see the play if you can. That's cool.
Yeah, go follow everything that Ken does. He's super busy, super talented. That's why he's only on this show a couple of times a year.
That and my -3 scores.
He remade The Shining in 2010.
I got another one coming up. Shining 2024 is be out next year. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I mean, that one is also about gentrification in Chicago.
Starring Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf, what's his name? Gentrification.
He also made Dr. Sleep in 1983.
Matthew, got anything you want to say before we go?
So I have it's free to attend, but I have a movie series that I'm doing once a month just for the summer, where it will showcase an indie new horror movie and have a director or someone who is in the movie either physically there, or it'll be a pre-recorded interview that'll play before the movie. And then it'll be paired with a movie that's now public domain. So the first, but before the movies and in between the movies will be burlesque and drag performers. So the first movie on June 22nd will be Hellvan, and then it's paired with Night of the Living Dead. And then the second show will be July 27th, and that'll be the public domain movie is The Tingler. And the new horror movie that you can't watch anywhere else from some Philly filmmakers is called A Corpse for Christmas. And then there's not an official date for the third one, but it'll be Blood Sick Psychosis as the new movie, paired with probably Lady Frankenstein.
Fun.
And then, yeah, that's it for the summer.
Where is this?
Where is
these are at Ralph's Rock Diner. They'll be outside screenings in Worcester. So the show will start at 8. There'll be some performance stuff. Then the movies will start around 8:30.
That is so fun. Yeah, if you're in the Worcester area, definitely go to that. Kari, you got anything you want to say before we go?
No, I don't have anything really to promote. I'm not like a comedian or anything. So I don't have anything. I mean, I guess if folks want to follow me on Instagram and see the complete bullshit I post on my Instagram stories, it's KARILT34 at Instagram. And I guess, I know Father's Day is really rough for a lot of people, and if it's rough for anyone that's watching, I'm sorry. I feel your pain as a member of the Dead Dad Club. It sucks, even though I do miss my dad a lot, but I know it's rough for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. So just know I'm out there, and I feel your pain.
I mean, yeah, that's a great message to end us with. Fortunately, we can't end. Josh, our winner, do you have anything you want to say?
You know what? No, I don't have anything. No, we'll end it with that. We'll end it with the dad getting mad. Okay? Now you got a mad dad.
I feel like you're just disappointed at me.
Yeah. Nicholas Martucci.
Isn't disappointment a part of Father's Day anyway? Come on.
Really is.
Not mad. He's just very disappointed in you.
I can't disappoint my own dad, so I want to disappoint you, Josh.
I think I'm getting a shirt this year. Better than socks, but no, I actually want to shout out my stepfather. To be honest with you, this is his Father's Day. He really just is a great guy all around. He was a police officer for many years. But he wasn't one of the bad ones. He actually was one of the good ones. You know, he taught me a lot. He basically taught me a lot of stuff that I find funny now, and the fact that I'm as outgoing as I am is because of him. I mean, like he would literally talk to anybody, and I've kind of learned that ability to talk to anybody from him, which is kind of cool. So you know, happy Father's Day, Kenny. You know, he's a great grandfather too. My daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, loves him. She wrestles him every time she sees him, and the way that he puts his body on the line is more than most wrestlers do in real life. Like I've seen him like throw himself off the bed onto his back, and he's 70 something years old. You can literally hear his joints snap as he launches off the bed, and then my daughter will jump on him with both knees under the stomach. She don't know how to shift her weight. There's no kayfabe.
Yeah, so no one will hurt you like a child.
That's like, yeah. That's like 65 pounds of just. I've often said no one will hurt you like a child, and also no one will find you Windows shortcuts you've never seen before like a child. Give a keyboard or a laptop, and they will open up worlds on your laptop you've never seen before. Like your screen will be inside out by the time they're done. But anyways, all the dads out there, love you all.
Yeah, most of the dads out there, we love you.
Most of the dads.
Shout out to Terry O'Quinn.
Yeah, shout out to Terry O'Quinn. Shout out to Freddy Krueger.
But yeah, that's really Josh. Now you got to make sure that your stepfather, if he isn't already a regular viewer, that
he's not a regular viewer.
Why not? He's not subscribed to the YouTube.
No, you wouldn't understand this shit.
Well, thank you all for
this is the one safe place I have to talk about him.
Well, thank you all for being here. Once again, Josh Poirier, Kari Taylor, Ken Green, Matthew Flynn. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We're doing this every Monday night in June at 9 p.m. Eastern. The dates are still kind of being thrown around as to what we're moving on to next month. I'm trying to find something that works for the most people. So, you know, if you have any input, if you want to be on the show and it's like, I can't do Monday nights, reach out to me. Maybe you'll be the one person to convince me to move it to a different night.
One person show.
Yeah. Just me and you, long form interview. I'm just gonna read these. We will be back next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, the 16th, with fantasy movies. I believe Poirier, you're on that as well.
I think I am.
So tune into that. Watch old episodes, like, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff. Tell your friends about this show. Make it so that more people see it, and I'll want to keep it going for another year. Because I have fun with this, but I can only keep it going as long as people are interested. And I thank you all for being interested enough that I'm